the what could have been year, and it has already delivered here. And especially now to have the Kaysan Showdown followed by, like, I just had to check my calendar because when you said the dates of that event, I was like, crap, we got to get on a plane pretty soon. Yeah. So in only 2 weeks' time, we'll already be at that first major, and then just almost 4 weeks to the day after that, you'll be at the next event. So really, everything is coming in very fast, and whichever team is able to get an early lead is going to be looking very good early on in the season.
I got a question for you both. You ready for some Origin capture the flag?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Ready for a grand final?
I'm ready for a grand final.
Let's do it. Let's lock in then, everybody. The grand finals is here of the Kaysan Showdown, and it's going to be a banger of a game type and a banger of a series to get us underway. Shopify Rebellion wasn't the series they wanted previously against Optic. They got reverse swept, but they fought their way back through the Elim bracket to have another opportunity, another stab at taking down the green wall. And with that sniper rifle, it's going to be game-changing. Let's see who gets their hands on it first.
Big opportunity for revenge here. As we said, while the reverse sweep was impressive, there's only going to be one winner here today, and that's the only thing people will be talking about for these next 2 weeks as we head into the first major. And ladies and gentlemen, we are underway. Your grand finals here at the Kaysan Showdown. It's going to be Shopify Rebellion versus Optic.
I just wonder if Frosty's going to go for the play that we've seen previously. It looked like he wanted to. He's going to grab it. Doesn't get to fire the bullet, though. But he is going to get away with that sniper rifle, and that is job one done for Frosty in Shopify Rebellion.
Stays alive here, and now things are going to play a lot different than what we saw in the Slayer, of course. Trades coming out on the sneaky. Now all eyes on that top rocks. Now Formal's going to want to challenge this.
Oh my God! What is that reaction time? He is an alien.
I'm telling you,
he is an alien.
This guy on this map, put him anywhere, especially on the snipe side. Heaven forbid. What a no-scope there, and it's a little bit of deja vu. Do not adjust your television sets. This man is up to his usual tricks. Frosty is right at home.
And off the back of those kills as well, it's not one power weapon, it's two. You can see the LastShot is just looking, but a great little bait, little shoulder peek coming in from Lqgend and from Formal as well means that neither rocket connects. And that power weapon is down.
Formal's going to now have the snipe in his hands. We've seen what this man can do.
Oh, sweet. This is what you can expect, everyone. This is the finals. This is what it means. Everybody's hitting their shots.
This is beautiful. Just to see this back and forth gameplay. Lqgend's the last player alive for Optic Gaming for just a moment. They're going to flush him out of bottom middle. That will be a clean 4 dead. Formal is your first spawner, but already back and forth here as they try to push out elbow side.
Next part of the process here for Shopify Rebellion is get into that base, get that flag moving. It's 2 dead once again. As Frosty is probably calling to his teammates, if you can get a pull, run it elbow, run it window. I've got some angles to help you out on those spawners. LastShot, here's that call, and it looks like there might be a toss across the silver.
Goes for the silver toss. I think it makes it as well. It does. Beautifully done there. Frosty right away rotates front base, and now going to try to continue to get damage. 2 are still dead. He should be able to get the fountain run here.
Lqgend picks up 1, but I'm not sure there's anyone in position to cut down Frosty. Mocks his head on the geometry for just a second, but the first strike goes.
Wow.
The way of Shopify Rebellion. It is a clean run from them.
Beautifully done. Frosty right away identifies from the rocket. Ooh, gets the stick as well. Fantastic work from him. Will be 3 dead for Optic, 4 dead in just a second. Bound is your first spawner. Love the way the Frosty rotated immediately to front base as they go for that beautiful toss all the way to silver. And they continued slaying throughout, and that leads now to a 1-0 lead in favor of Shopify Rebellion.
I mean, so much to talk about the Frosty angle, like you say, that he takes. He jumps front base because they're unaware of where the spawns are going to be, right? Certain kills have happened on the map. He's trying to put himself in a position where as soon as a call out comes on where those spawners are coming, he can adjust his position as quickly as possible to be part of the fight again. It's so smart from Frosty to put himself in what, you know, traditionally might seem as bad position in a 4v4. But speaking of 4, it's going to be 4 dead here. Royal 2 off of the spawn though in the cave will manage to not only stop the flag run, but also allows teammates to spawn in and around that flag itself.
Yeah, you have the feeling. Frosty, by the way, stays alive just long enough on the flag to allow Royal 2 to spawn. You had the feeling they just didn't have the timing. They needed to maybe get a little bit, just one shot on Royal 2 in the cave as damage before they started that run. And on the other side, they respond right away. It's 3 dead for Optic. Shopify fights right out of their base.
A bit of a T2 combo. Opportunity here. Frosty is going to leave that sniper rifle though because LastShot was trying to run that flag. Formal will shut it down momentarily.
Now he wants
it. And now Frosty, with the rockets gone, is going to pick up the sniper rifle.
Things slow down just a bit here. Bound knows he needs to stay alive. Going to continue the run.
A bit of an overextension run. They get the return as well, and all of a sudden, Optic out of nowhere. Strike back, it's 1-1. It's a sneaky pull that came in for them. A lot of attention, understandably, on the power weapons and Frosty, but it's going to be Optic who take that opportunity with Frosty and the rest of Shopify Rebellion on the snipe side to run it down into the trenches and run it elbow.
Yeah, it really tells you a lot about even if the opponent has both rockets and then sniper on the sniper side of the map, if you can cut down those sight lines and really just isolate that player, you're able to still run a flag, and that's exactly what they do.
Takes you back to Renegade on Splice, right back in Halo 5. They were the team who started to overextend with those runs on that elbow side. Lqgend is next! Royal 2 with the double kill. Formal his first spawner.
Imagine.
Royal 2 with the triple and a killing spree! And he's looking for the over as well. He bodies Renegade.
Almost gets the over centimeters away, but are you kidding me with that shot on Formal? Beautifully done. It's another perfect kill. The flag goes in. My word.
I mean, he follows it up with the perfect. And we don't. That's not enough for us to get excited anymore.
Yeah.
Just beautiful, beautiful play from Royal 2. Just completely taken over the map.
I don't know what we did to deserve this level of competitive Halo in a 4th year for a game like Halo Infinite, but somehow we've got it, and it has already delivered unbelievable clips. 3 dead for the side of Shopify.
Rockets coming up in 5 seconds time. 7 minutes still left in this game, by the way. 1 flag to win here for Shopify. For Optic, it's going to have to be 2. Cykul in the 1v1. Lqgend is going to win that one. But Frosty immediately turns 1 kill into 2, cleaning up the damage that was left.
LastShot trying to get in.
3 dead.
Thinking about making this run happen. Baum was your only player alive. And now going to continue the run. Baum's still alive somewhere, and so far being a big pain on the run. Going to stay alive in Maze and try to get this finish, but LastShot takes him down. Frosty has rocks as well.
Frosty's got rocks. He's going to find one onto Formal as well. That's a double kill for him. It's 3 dead again. Lqgend last alive, and I'm thinking that Royal 2's going to get that kill. It's a clear run here. Frosty can get it across the silver, taking no risk whatsoever. Shopify Rebellion are going to strike first here in this series. They win. Capture the flag here on Origin by 3-1.
And look at Frosty, the pop-off, right? Getting loud at the end of the game as well. And I think the stakes have been raised after that first series. I think everyone was kind of maybe coming into this day a little bit just kind of calm and confident, but instead, after getting, look at LastShot as well, determination, and you could tell that reverse sweep hit Shopify.
No surprise whatsoever. You know, the best, I think, picture that we've had all day was the 2 teams alongside each other. Yeah. Optic having just won the series, popping off, and Shopify just heartbroken, devastated, not moving, not speaking.
In the end,
they're going to remember that.
Hey, Frosty 15-7. What did we say last time we saw him in Origin? He went 15-8 in the game that they won. Never has a player been more at home, or as you said earlier, synonymous with a map in the entirety of competitive Halo. Frosty just up to Frosty. Thing's the only player on 4K damage in the game as well.
I mean, Dr. Construct, Ghost of the Army, back in the day. Professor Pitt, as Wes called himself. It's an alt tag, by the way. I'm not giving him that.
Don't give him that.
I'm not encouraging it, but I'm just saying.
You're saying other players have tried.
I'm just saying.
I think other players
we need to come up with a name for Frosty and Origin, okay?
I'll work on
We'll work on it. The major's a couple of weeks away. Might not be enough time for us, but we'll come up with something.
It was a lot easier when it was Callie Frosty. You could just rhyme it and be done with it. But
it's true.
We'll do the work on the words. Here's the timing I mean. Look, he stays alive long enough. You've got to be ready to get some damage on Royal 2 before that flag run starts. In the end, it was Optic Gaming able to get on the board through that run. But after that, it was really all she wrote, this
Royal 2
sequence.
Oh.
And then look at this speed, the backflip. Oh my, but here it is.
The nade from Formal, you just knew that Royal 2 was licking his lips, knowing he had to extend, and then he bodies Renegade.
Inches away.
And then, just to finish it off, by the way, just walks in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shout out Richard Sims for the killing spree.
Honestly, depending on the timing of that elbow kill, not too far from attack, potentially. But in the end, the only thing they're going to worry about are those flags coming back home. And love what I'm seeing there from Shopify, because that was not just confidence on that game type and Frosty doing Frosty things. That was a statement, right? They are not happy about the reverse sweep, probably embarrassed by it, and knows that there's a lot to play for here. Big cash prize today and a lot of momentum on the season that's going to be grabbed by the end of the night. And they want to take this and not have history repeat itself to lose to Optic Gaming again in this bracket. Next up, Slayer on Livefire.
I mean, very similar pattern to what we saw in game number 1 of the previous series, though. I will say, it felt like a dominant performance in game 1 from Shopify, and then Optic kept it a little bit closer in that game 2 and then grew into the series. And we do have an elongated series here in our grand final, and Optic will know that. And I think Shopify also will know that. They cannot afford to count their chickens before they're hatched. That's Not something I thought I'd say on broadcast, but here we are.
They can't. And right now they have a lot of eggs. In this economy, that's huge.
In this country.
I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
It's still good.
I was going to say, you might not know what's going on over here.
I know.
And frankly, I'm sick of hearing about it. But I'm hearing Shopify Rebellion in Toronto has a stockpile of eggs, and they're not counting a single one before these things hatch. You mark my words. Those chickens will not cross the border. For other reasons, those chickens will not cross the border. But they're being slowly incubated in a climate-controlled environment, and no one's counting any chickens. Shopify, 3 games to go.
This is what happens in a bonus season of Halo Infinite.
I was going to say, the sun is setting in Dallas, Texas, and so is our mental acuity. However, we're going to guide you through these next few.
All we can say is the eggs are safe for now. Let's move on to game number 2. Slayer, live fire. 50 kills to win.
Optic Gaming, they've done it before. Only a few hours ago against Shopify Rebellion. A reverse sweep that I don't think anyone was expecting with the way that Shopify was playing. And you heard just what it took for Formal and the team to lock it down and ice up and take that series. Now, this is a big one. Like we said, the big thing for Optic Gaming is do not go down early, and we mean that in both game types and a series. We're underway in game number 2, and we'll see if Optic Gaming can get out to an early lead. We know they need it.
Aggressive push on the cuts here from Shopify Rebellion. But really good nades actually from Formal, just back them down. But Royal 2 gets that first pick. Frosty gets the second, and surely that's just going to carve a path once again to that sniper rifle. LastShot's going to be challenging.
Wiggly.
He's going to get the help from Frosty, and hey, surprise, surprise. Bradley Bergstrom, he's got himself a sniper rifle.
Man, LastShot was wiggly in the mud. Normally you find yourself getting the boots getting stuck, but instead, he was ready for it. 2 kills do come across for the side of Optic, so now Frosty going to try to stay alive with the snipe in hand. 2 players on the other side of the map as the camo pops.
And Optic are going to know that they can't overextend for this camo because Frosty's going to have angles. He's going to have the opportunity to hit headshots. And that's why you're not seeing any real contesting going down on that on the camo side of the map. Camo's picked up here by LastShot, 6-3. Camo and snipe in their hands. Shopify in a great spot here.
Look at the way LastShot's playing this.
This is
so slow, so deliberate, beautifully done.
Completely free, gets info. Frosty got out with that sniper rifle as well, and now Shopify control. Mid-map once more. Optic trapped in and around the tower.
Really nice selective targeting here coming in. Going to pick up another one, maybe even more. Finally gets taken down, but not before helping with 3 separate kills with that camo. That now brings them into a 9-5 lead.
1 bullet for Frosty. More than enough for him to secure a headshot. Oh, you knew he was going to hit it. 1 bullet, 1 opportunity. The man strikes.
Let's not forget, they took Game 2 Slayer against Optic in that first series, but they, of course, infamously got reverse swept in the Game 5 Slayer. They're off to an early lead here at 10-7. Let's get into a listen in now with Shopify Rebellion.
Put her. So Nessie went front, went training. 3 B,
Let me die.
we
Cypher's out.
B, hello. No, I'm here.
The other one went pillars to bottom mid, okay?
Yeah. Let's go.
Quantum's up.
He's late.
Camo 25.
Checking your cards.
Sit
Yeah, they have quantum. They're gonna make a move.
Come on, shot.
Nice. Screens, Matt. Behind screens weak going in. Screens to camo.
Camo 4.
One shot time in.
Camo now.
I'm going in the vent. Let's get fucking go. You can get out. We'll get to time in now. We can do.
Camo, watch your cuts. Screen on me.
We're getting
Spotter.
Okay, Preston's gonna die. Let Preston die.
Yeah, spotter.
I'm going.
Spotter, A play, you. Top it, watch out.
Bottom in. Nice.
Right.
Yo, screens, shoot Keto, going. Screens.
Snipe at 10. Huge snipe.
I want to believe. Surprise up, bro. Your tower's good. Cypher, help me.
What's up? They're right.
I got the game plan. Okay, play one shot, going low.
One shot. One Keto. I see Keto, I catch him one shot.
I'll be tower sniping, Camo.
Red bar. Absolutely.
Snipes down.
I'm running.
One guy's A, one guy's A.
Could be out big.
Tires
here.
now.
Watch out, tires, guys. Watch out, W. He's going W. Pillar. He's pillar, Harry Potter.
Nice 3.
Could be tower.
As the game is tied up at 22-22, we've heard from the side of Shopify Rebellion. Let's jump into the Optic comms and see what they're like.
Hey, bro.
Yo,
bind you, bind you. You're too funny.
Watch your cuts, man. Watch your cuts.
On the west, on cut side, cut side. Run away. One to middle, chase one middle thing. One minute chasing.
Hey, he's coming. One check heater.
Just nest and tummy tower.
One take street. Yo, behind the street.
Screen. Watch that.
Mid step.
That's
That's weak.
Watch
Watch your cuts. Watch your cuts. Bottoms up now.
Okay.
Here.
There's so cuts.
I'm here, bud.
Jump here.
Yo, back me right now.
Watch that.
Yo,
Very weak,
back me.
Tires.
Three there. Last guy.
Jump here. Tires. Dummy door.
Jump back.
Bottom in.
That was last guy.
Spotting green and back up.
So one minute, roll 2
Yeah, he's back.
Nice, Yo, elbow, one shot, two tires, two dummies.
What's push?
Dummies.
Yo, bud right now.
Tires, 2 shot, last shot. Tires, 2 shot, last shot.
Dude, after tires.
Tires.
Yo, one's gonna push me right now. Kind of stuck here. They don't
No.
Stop in recap bets.
Roll 2
Yeah,
one,
we can't
one.
AB. One can be bigger right now.
We gotta play a little tighter.
Ready.
They're coming.
It's too big.
Watch that big. Watch that big.
Nate.
Watch your top mid, roll 2 absolute guys on this.
Shopify Rebellion with a 6-kill advantage as we come out to both sides of that listening. And Optic now on the back foot, but there's something you noticed about the Shopify listening you want to talk about.
Yeah, really impressive here to see Shopify pull away the way that they are. Of course, trailing earlier, and Optic Gaming started to get a lead, but Shopify, you can tell they have learned they need to make sure they don't give Optic any opportunity to get any lead whatsoever. Well, let's see how this camo plays out before we go back to that moment here. This is a big moment here for Royal 2 with only a 3-kill lead.
See the Optic are checking their corners. They know that he disappeared somewhere. Royal 2, though, he's going to be spotted out bottom middle, bound. Alongside Renegade will get that kill.
That's big.
And they take the camo down, but Bound now down to no shields. He's got to turn his attention from getting kills to surviving. Not going to be able to do so. Frosty chases him down.
38-34 now. Still just a 3-kill game as another one comes in for Optic Gaming. And let's focus here on this action because down to the wire, and Shopify has played this so well to make sure history does not repeat itself with late game aggression and perfection from Optic Gaming that we saw earlier.
15 seconds or so until that sniper comes up top middle. Whoever gets that might just win this game. Cykul, though, being so annoying, just peeking between those bandit shots, getting the shields ripped down as Renegade, but he keeps himself alive and he's got that plasma pistol still to play with.
Really important life here from Renegade. Does so well to stay alive. Now, just like that, the game is within 2. It was a 6-kill lead. It has been completely shut down.
Royal 2 grab that sniper rifle. You can see the Optic are trying to hunt him down. They don't want to let him get away with that. But LastShot and Royal 2 come out of it with kills. Cykul still alive on the tower. Lqgend finds 2. It's a 2-kill game here.
Frosty double!
Frosty with a double gets traded out by Lqgend, but it brings us within 5 of Shopify Rebellion closing this game out. But the game is only 3 kills between the two teams. Cykul finds that sniper rifle.
Big. Frosty staying alive in Rat and also getting the double to clear the way for the snipe grab is going to be huge. Now a 2-kill game, 46-44.
Optic get a couple there. Optic get a couple. Cykul running back to LastShot. The snipe doesn't go up to him either. He's going to have to extend if he wants to grab that. Optic within 1.
A bit trapped here at tower. Frosty's in trouble. Somehow staying alive. Nest Royal 2 trying to watch over his shoulder, but the nade comes in.
Formal gets one.
Bound takes an angle on that.
It's Optic who go into a lead. It's 48-46. A complete turnaround in the last moments of this game. Cykul finds 1. It's now a 1-kill game once again, but where did that snipe go? Did anyone manage to pick it up from a body? Or will it influence this game? Optic only need 1.
Wow, Bound gets another one here. 1 kill to go for Optic Gaming. Somehow they pull off a comeback so far and leading by 2. No room for error for Shopify.
Shopify all trapped bottom middle at the moment. Bound and Optic make the push, and it's Formal who gets the 50th and ties the series up at 1-1. What a comeback that was from Optic.
What did we say? You cannot give them any room at all to bring a game back, and heaven forbid in the late game. Let's not forget, it was 36-30 in favor of Shopify. On paper, every day of the week at this level of competitive Halo, that should be a win. There's no excuse for throwing away a 6-kill lead in the late game. Instead, it's Optic Gaming digging deep. How about getting the kill so that they cannot bring the snipe top tower? LastShot cannot get the snipe. They cannot get the angle. They trap them back tower, and they get all the kills that they needed off screen. Lqgend goes 16-11 in a game that they win by 3. A huge performance from him.
Yeah, Lqgend really stepping up in these Slayer games. Think of the game 5. He was the one that was getting them fired up, as well as leading the way for Optic when it came to those stats. And the Frenchman again in this game too drags Optic back into this series. 1-1 now. The early moments of the game, understandably, with Frosty POV again with that sniper rifle. The mid game, Optic just started to kind of come back, keep it close, but it's the final moments of that game that were the difference maker. And I think you're right. We were watching LastShot Cykul, excuse me, trying to get back.
How about bounce kill?
Towards the snipe tower to at least, if he dies, give the sniper rifle to LastShot. Can't quite make it. We talk about the margins in Halo Infinite. That's another example of how thin they are.
Bound also doing so well because they were eagle-eyeing bottom mid and pillar door, but Bound actually flanks all the way to key. Here's the moment. 47-46, Roll 2 does not hit the shot. He gets completely collapsed on. And after that, it's a nice two-man push. Formal and Bound, by the way, they peek Rat Tunnel in like a 2v2, maybe even a 2v3, but they still get the kill. And Optic Gaming ties it up 1-1, which, as we said, has been a key to success for them. As long as they can just keep this within reach, they have the edge, and so far they've done that. We're tied up going into game number 3.
Strongholds recharge next. Still got FaZe and SSG in the building watching this finals as well. They want to obviously learn as much as they can from the two teams who are playing right now in our grand finals. Ahead of the kickoff major in just a few weeks' time. 1-1 is where we find ourselves. If you're wondering what happened previously, this is how both teams got to this position. The winners final, go back and watch that series if you missed it. Optic Gaming with the reverse sweep over Shopify Rebellion, sending them down to the elimination bracket. They bounced back with a 3-0 over Space Station. And now we find ourselves once again tied up at 1-1. Nothing to split the two teams.
I'm telling you, the late game composure, it just seems too strong. And what I mean by that, if Slayers were to 75, they wouldn't lose a game. You know, you can't give them... What you have in a 12-minute Slayer to 50 kills is a certain number of rotations and opportunities and pushes, and that's kind of mathematically built into the game. And so far, Optic Gaming is showing that as long as you get to the late game, they're going to have a way back into it. And that's what continues to happen on the side of Shopify. They need to just give no room, absolutely no room, which is such a hard task against a team like Optic. And wouldn't have it any other way. Tied up so far going into game number 3.
Don't leak the DMs, Legend.
Don't do the arm thing again. This is a risky camera shot. You might do the thing. Okay, so far it's safe.
I'm just happy we moved away from Legend. I don't want the DMs being leaked on broadcast.
No, you can't.
No, that's
bad.
That'd be
that's
rough. It's
not
not how you want it to happen. At least
even if the DMs aren't,
at least needs to get hacked.
even if the DMs aren't sus, you just can't. You know what I mean?
Just don't want it.
It could be sus though.
I just don't want what I send them to be revealed.
Or
you send them.
Well, guess what? Here we don't have any eggs. You guys have good privacy standards in Europe, so it's two very different tales.
Yeah, we do. Strongholds is next.
We don't have privacy or eggs here. Now that I think about it, God. But we do have some damn good Halo here. Shopify and Optic Gaming.
We do indeed. We're going to move on to Recharge Strongholds next. This is going to be a very, very fast-paced game type. One of the fastest that we have on the circuit. Shock Rifle, of course, going to be there. Camo going to be there as well. And the camo has been a real difference maker. I feel like almost more weight is being put into the camo than previously because the Shock Rifle's little nerf. You know, Shock Rifle used to be able to take over games. With the angles that you could hold down at range with the no-scope ability, now the camo has a little bit more room to kind of maneuver, to be a bit more of an impactful power-up, with that shock being not quite as effective as it once was.
So here, oh my heavens, the beautiful grenade off the bank from Formal gets help on a cat as well. 2 dead for both sides. Cykul's going to jump in and try to make sure he continues to deal damage all the way. He's the last player alive in a momentary 1v2.
A and B are going to be flipped though, and he's still alive for a few seconds. Finally going to be taken out, and there's camo in the hands of the Frenchman Lqgend, who's, importantly, I think, going to be focusing on capturing the stronghold, maybe before thinking about picking up that shock rifle.
BNC now, still being held, and he's going to, like you said, take his time around gold, prioritize that, easily get the kill to make sure they even things up in terms of the slays, but it's pre-nated pretty heavily and needs to try to stay alive.
Gets the kill.
Wow.
No shields, no problem. Jumps back in, finally going to be taken down. It's 2v2 on the map for now. B, kind of 2/3 of the way to be converted, 3/4 even. I'll give them a little bit more benefit for Optic Gaming, and they do manage to turn it in their favor, but it's only going to be momentary scoring as Shopify have taken control of C.
Bao knows he needs to stay alive here, wait for a little bit of help. Tries to deal some damage on the mid-bridge, and ideally goes pipes, but instead it's the Cykul LastShot combo. The Young Guns fly into Whirlpool together to pick up that kill.
Yeah, a little bit uncharacteristic, the bandit shots coming in from Bound there. Not the cleanest that we're used to seeing in those 1v1 scenarios. B's being flipped right now by Shopify off the back of those kills they pick up, and Optic Gaming 3 dead. And even though Shopify only have a couple of players on the map, looking to push immediately in. I like this play from Royal 2, showing that aggression, taking Renegade on in the 1v1. LastShot arrives as he stays alive, and it will be A now being flipped by Shopify. They have A and B, this traditional setup where they can just watch each other's crosses.
Now, there's a momentary 1v1, but Royal 2 not only challenges top A, he gets a spawner as well, which helps him. So a really nice selection there in terms of the way to play that. They're going to continue holding AB, and they will continue scoring here at the 30-9 mark.
2 dead for Optic again. Bound going to be caught out on the grapple, but not before he takes down LastShot. But we are seeing a triple cap start to be put in place here by Shopify Rebellion. The scoring is going to be going up extremely quickly, and with Cykul having himself a camo, he picks up a double, and he might be able to step in this stronghold as well. But smartly, this is the shield management I'm talking about. Most players would have dived in there, looked for that triple kill, takes the extra second. It means he's got more life to give, he's got more bullets to output, instead of just sitting in that respawn screen. He gets B eventually, he knows he has time on his side.
Agree, veteran play there. There's no need to push. Sure, he could have gotten the trip, sure they could have even maybe got a few more points on the board, but instead, why not get the reset, get the time? They already have the control and the spawns coming in, and allows him to continue dealing damage like this, and just like that, because he plays that patient play, they're up 88-9.
1v1 on the map again, by the way. It's going to be Bound. Oh, Frosty comes off the respawn though, and Bound just gets his shields clipped at the wrong time. If Frosty could pick up a kill here, it would be big. But even though Frosty goes down, he's bought enough time for B to be reset and C to be captured, and Optic haven't really left their spawn.
Just like that, 103-9. It starts to get out of hand off the back of that trip cap, and Cykul, he's already 10-5 in this game. What a start for them.
One thing to remind, what the shot? I didn't even see that player. He hit him through the stairs?
You even saw the frustration there. To be honest, I have no idea either. You even saw the frustration there on the side of Bound as he got taken down in the player cam. In the end, it's Shopify continuing to play the 2-cap perfectly until they get another 3 opportunity, which I have a feeling might not be too far away. Royal 2 just staying alive as long as he can. Finally, he's taken down as well, and maybe it's going to be an opportunity for a trip cap. Again, Formal gets the last kill, but still 4 dead for Optic Gaming in the end.
One thing about this game type that I think every player and team knows at this point, though, is that even 100 points, 200 points isn't a death sentence in this game type. You can really do exactly what Shopify have done on the Optic side if you get that 3-4 dead scenario. But the one problem is Frosty on a killing spree. I'm pretty sure they just grabbed that camo. Shopify are not giving them the opportunity to even up the numbers on the map.
I love that play from Frosty because it looked like it was an unnecessary shroud initially from the stacks angle, but he shrouds it, and there was 2 players coming Mangler Pit Orange Door. That ensures that camo comes away for free, and they get an all 4 dead as well. Beautifully done, clinical stuff here once again from Shopify.
Great damage again from LastShot. Picks up 1 kill, takes his shields down of another. That's going to stop the progress across the map here. Couple of shots being picked up by Bound on his cross, and Shopify are just picking them apart surgically. Optic Gaming at the moment, every time they try and step near a stronghold, Shopify are there. They've got info on Last Alive. Lqgend is trying to do what he can to clean up some damage, and he does a pretty damn good job of it. Double kill for him. He'll be able to get A, but C is already in the hands of Shopify.
That was not an easy 1v2. They will flip A, but as you said, C already flips as well. So we'll see if they can do it on BC. That's a big 1v1, and you just saw Lqgend get loud in the chat. That's 3 dead, and maybe an opportunity for them to climb back into this game, but they're trailing by 200.
Formal with another kill. This is the first time we've seen Optic really start to cycle spawns, start to cycle slays, where they've had the majority of numbers on the map. Cykul with a big kill himself, though. Lqgend trying to chase him down. That's a good nade. It's just going to stop him from being able to challenge. And now he's got decisions to make. The spawners are coming in on the long haul.
Oh, unlucky.
Cykul's still here.
Reads it.
Lqgend stays alive, but as I say, the spawners are already here to help for Shopify Rebellion.
Don't forget, that was Cykul who also grenaded top control to make sure he didn't come there. So Cykul actually expects that routing and checks on bottom blue. It's a beautiful kill, but Formal still trying to make sure his team gets back on the board. They are scoring, and just about 30 points unanswered in the last sequence.
Royal 2 breaks through off spawn, manages to flip A. B's being converted as well, and off of Optic scoring, they go 3-4 dead, and it's a triple cap again for Shopify Rebellion. We're getting into the final potential stages of this game, and LastShot gets another camo. Shopify have had almost every camo in this game, and you can also see the shock rifle is in their hands as well.
And I love the patience, once again, that they've been playing with. LastShot just taking his time. He isolates every angle when he has camo. Notice the way that he does this. He has never exposed himself through this entire life to 2 players at once. Really, really nicely done.
One thing I love about how he's playing this as well is even though C is being capped, he's letting them have it because he knows that a reset can come in on B. He knows that they're going to continue scoring if they hold 2 of these strongholds, and he knows that they can isolate fights.
Yep.
and turn strongholds back in their favor. It's great decision-making here from LastShot to play his life, but also know there's no need to die in these situations.
Yeah, really like kind of a fulcrum player there, right? He knew that he could just keep them at C. If they started A, he's going to just fly back because Camo gives you the luxury to just play like that on a dime. You can just turn and you can change your pivot there, and that's going to be the game. Beautifully done from Shopify.
Flawless, almost flawless from them. From start to finish, it was Shopify's game. Optic Gaming, again, it almost felt like SSG did a little bit earlier on. They could barely get on the map to have a 4v4 fight, let alone capture those strongholds. It is fantastic efficiency from Shopify Rebellion, and as we take a look at the stat, 250 to 39. We say that you can come back on that map, you can go on huge runs themselves, but Optic never had the chance.
They didn't, and that's the key, right? I think Shopify is very quickly understanding that just because you're up 195 to, say, 30, as we saw them actually up right around that kind of score line, you don't allow yourselves to go, for example, back-to-back 4 dead. All of a sudden, it's a trip cap. All of a sudden, they've gone on a 70-point run. You cannot allow this Optic Gaming team to do that, and I think Shopify is identifying that that is the key. You have to play relentless, non-stop aggression, get through the game. Like I said, that game was only about 7 minutes or so. You need to win games that fast, because as soon as you start to go the distance, that's when Optic finds exactly what they need to do. Don't give them the time.
Cykul, this play here, waits for damage. He knows. We were talking about like what sums up some of these newer players for people who are watching for the first time, right? And we came out like intelligence for Cykul. Yeah. That is a perfect example of how intelligent a player he is. It might not seem like a massive play, but it's the knock-on effect from him surviving there, waiting for shields. He gets the double, but he knows there's a huge numbers advantage because he's done that. So he could afford to wait that extra 5 or 6 seconds before he re-engages, because everyone else in his team, he's given the information. They're going to do damage. And he can not only get the kill and reconvert, but then he's alive without trading, still
with camo
in the fight with camo.
And on top of that, I think there's another added bonus where, guess what? Their next spawner, right, is actually going to be 2 to 3 seconds later as well. So their next collapse is that much easier as well. So he has all the time to get across the map into control, and then they're fighting a momentary 4v2 for even longer. And it's just really a domino effect. And that's what we mean by this season as we get ready for this game number 3. This season, focus on when teams are playing this kind of lights out, fast, just fly at you Halo versus moments like that where you do take the second and you are patient and you buy yourself even more time. Shopify Rebellion with that dominating win is up 2-1 in the series. Next up, Nutribomb Aquarius, which will decide if we go to 2-2 or if we, in a very different way, go all the way to 3-1.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I think we saw 2 examples of what we were talking about. Turret, right? LastShot is a turret. Think of that life that he had with the camo around C towards the end of that game. Did so much damage to different areas of the map, to different players on the map, without overextending, without trying to get a kill. He wasn't desperate for the kill because he knows if he outputs damage, the likes of Frosty, Royal 2, they're going to collapse on that damage. They're going to get those kills. His job is to make sure the players that they fight are weak enough that they could turn it into double kills, triple kills, without having to have that attention on them.
And it was so smart too. His vision cone only focused on one single sideline, and the rest of his body was isolated away from anyone else on the map. He only took momentary 1v1s and backed down every time to keep players weak, keep his shield, and when he needed to, with his camo still, fly back across mid, get back to A, and win the team fight. It was beautifully done. That sets us up now for game number 4 as we get ready for Neutral Bomb Aquarius.
A little bit of bomb. This one was a grueler a little bit earlier. We'll have to see if it's going to be the same here, or if someone is going to just find the little bit of magic they need to get that bomb armed and find themselves being a bit more aggressive than what we've seen previously. Camo is going to be picked up by Frosty again. It's another power-up going over to Shopify Rebellion.
They do find themselves 2 dead, though, so he knows he needs to play this slow. He's going to opt to sit table for a second and even maybe look for a top-mid angle just to work on the team shot. It's beautifully done. He knows there's a player in the back of the base.
Little bit of damage onto Frosty as well. Found. Gonna win his 1v1 there against Frosty. LastShot now. Just trying to keep an eye on that bomb. Such an important thing to do as Cykul wins his ones down on car 1.
I like that play. They try to actually leave Renegade in util, and they try to kind of fast break to the other team's util. In the end, it doesn't work, but it's a low-risk play because all of a sudden the bomb's just sitting in your opponent's util, and you're going to have the time to reset.
Frosty under pressure here. Optic starting to creep forward with that bomb themselves. You saw Formal was moving it down car 1. Legend can't land the melee, which means Pink is going to be open, but Renegade is in position in the window here to help out Formal get these kills, but they can't get either of them. Frosty wins his, and LastShot survives as well.
Really nicely done in the connector, and LastShot gets all the way back and still stays alive, and they will get another staggered 2 dead, so that bomb will be moving.
Lqgend at least gets 1, which is going to slow down the progress just for a few moments, but Royal 2 and Cykul are going to follow up on the damage. Formal's trying to flank Car 1. He knows where the bomb is, but he's going to be cut down before he can even get a sightline. Bound is last alive, trapped in the back of the base. He's dead. The bomb is moving in. Respawn is already using their nades. This could be an arm going the way of Shopify Rebellion.
Ooh. Very good nades, though, coming in the end. We'll see if Frosty can get jump on it. He's probably going to try to finish here right away.
2v2. He's going to force Formal in. He's going for the arm. He's going to get it. He's going to get it. And that is going to be Shopify Rebellion scoring first here.
Even though Bound hits the front jump on the pink side, in the end does not get there in time. And it's a very important first arm coming in from Shopify as they take a very early lead in the game.
First time Shopify get the bomb in the base, they plant. They execute. And their efficiency is something to be marveled from what we've seen from them so far in this tournament. Optic very much on the back foot and 3 dead once again, but that bomb is still down bottom middle.
Been so impressed with this team so far. It's going to be another camo for Royal 2 with Shopify. They're starting another run. Let's see if they can do it. Let's get into a listen in with Shopify.
One got their gen right now.
The PW.
I see the fire. One got me.
They're gonna spawn flag. They're gonna spawn flag.
Wait,
They're gonna spawn gen too. They're gonna spawn gen.
No, hard block.
They're Peter.
Nice, I can pick up window off. Hold on.
Every window. I'm one.
Peter.
Nice, we got it. 2 PW, one shot.
Wait.
Two flag.
Two flag.
Stay alive, man.
2 flag right now going. They're gen. I'm going up front.
What's our car they dropped?
One got P2. One got Irvin.
Cowan gets. Arvin, watch out, Lqgend.
One got P1.
Watch our East in their engine, Matt.
P2.
Back for me, they're shocked.
One got bomb. Running.
The other one that's shocked.
Running. One guy, yeah, bottom mid running.
Try to get out while they're dead.
Yeah, keep going.
Go front. Could be Irvin.
Well, Shopify Rebellion at the moment, they are just rolling 2 to the good in this bomb game type. 2 times have had that bomb inside of the Optic base, and 2 times it's been armed.
I mean, really flawless play. Also, I love the specific comms that you heard, right? They were playing calls saying they're going to be spawning back base and util, and the play was hard block util. They just sit there, they block it, they make sure they don't come in, they force the pink angle, and in the end, they're arming again. Let's see what Lqgend can do on the other side of the map.
One player snuck in, but they're going to get it. Did they get the arm? They did indeed get the arm.
It's the same as we saw in Fortress. It's the same as we saw with a 2-0 dominating game from Shopify. And Optic finds a way, by the way, another Lqgend arm again. Optic finds a way to answer back and get a sneaky arm.
However, how much did they expend? They've lost the camo. Again, that's going to be every single camo in the game so far going to the side of Shopify Rebellion. And the bomb was moving as well. They committed everything to that bomb plant, and now they have to play defense again.
Really interesting to see such a similar game type here, even with Renegade once again going uncharacteristically negative in this game type as well. It's really been so similar to the way we saw the first bomb game, but in this instance, we've got 7:50 left on the clock. Not over just yet. Let's see what Cykul can do with camo.
Look at this positioning from Cykul, by the way. He's putting himself in position where he can do damage but immediately escape. He cannot be the first death in this situation. 3 players damaged by Cykul. He's still alive. Now Shopify can move in. Now they can collapse. Now Cykul can take the 1v1. And with 4 dead, this might be the game. The bomb is arming. The desperation nades are coming in. Royal 2's going to challenge. There's a bonk on the back of the head to finish things off. It's going to be 3-1. Shopify Rebellion are looking dominant, and they will be up 3-1 in the series.
And unsurprisingly had no interest in playing time in an Aqua Bomb. Like we saw on Fortress, of course, it's a very different result. In the end, Optic Gaming able to get 1 on the board, but Shopify does not let up. They continue the aggression, and like you said, when you have Cykul on your shroom stairs, on your util bridge, just poking, prodding, and he can always disengage, it's going to be so hard to push out. At that point, you almost have to just choose 3 players to push out B-door and forget. You have to forget that player who's just absolutely causing havoc in your base.
11-6 for Cykul in that game. 11-7 for LastShot. So the 2 youngsters stepping up. I think stepping up is actually unfair. You know, just playing at the level that they have.
Just doing the same thing.
Yeah, just playing at a level which we now expect of them.
Got to point out the game clock yet again. That game was only about 5 minutes, 15 seconds total elapsed. And in the end, Shopify is able to close it out comfortably at 3-1. And I mean it. If that game is right, if we're instead playing Bomb up to a higher score as we have in past Halos, right, it could be a very different game. Shopify, I think, is quickly realizing that you get the damage, you move in, you don't give Optic any room to do anything in any game, and now that gives them a series lead after that game type win as well. Score 3-1.
I mean, sometimes it's the simple things as well that you need to address as a team, right? When you're losing these kind of games, you can't let Shopify get every single camo.
Right.
Every single camo they had was effective as well. The way that they played it, they were so efficient with the use of that damage output from everyone that had that power-up in their possession. And every time they got that bomb in the base, they armed. There was no disarms coming in. There was no throw of the bomb out of the base.
Yep.
From Optic Gaming, they just weren't able to. It was so well stacked inside of the base. Every angle held, every position held. It was, again, you watch that game back and it's very difficult to break down how Optic, not having those camos, were going to be able to fight off of the way that Shopify Rebellion were assaulting their base.
Absolutely, and this was what we talk about, the pinch. Just they take them down one by one, 3 dead, make it 4 dead, and that last one's going to come in. Of course, it's Cykul himself, right? It really tells you the staggering and the timing of those kills, that it's Cykul in the end who's actually the one arming, as he got so much of the distance and the kills slowly get rotated out. And now, just like that, it is Shopify Rebellion up 3-1 in the series as well. And now 1 game away from taking your championship here at the Kaysan Showdown.
Slayer Streaks is where we're going to head. Shopify Rebellion will know, though, in this series there's already been 1 Slayer and it did go the way of Optic Gaming. They will also know that when they thought they were going to win a series a little bit earlier, it did not end up being a Shopify Rebellion win. Optic Gaming were able to hit that reverse sweep. So still a lot of work to do for the gentleman on your screen right now. Frosty also apparently can disappear. He's not just a contortionist.
I said it was, what I saw was alien, and I'm not surprised.
We need a DNA check.
I'm not surprised that he can also teleport. That's all I'm saying. It feels like he's teleporting around the map.
It really does. I mean, for Optic, I'm sure it does at the moment. The way that he's moving around the map. What do you think Optic got to do, though, to get back into this? So it's a Slayer, which they've shown they can win. I mean, they've shown they can win majority of game types, but I think the fact that we aren't going into another... The objectives have been very one-sided in this series so far.
Yeah, they really have.
They've been very dominant from Shopify Rebellion.
I think Shopify took a lot from that first series, and I'm pretty impressed that only in that amount of time, and we're talking, by the way, of only a few hours of time, the fact that Shopify has been able to bounce back this quickly and closing out games so much earlier than they did in the first series. Let's not forget, at the end of every single game, even in the reverse sweep, games 1 and 2 included, Optic almost came back in both of them. Shopify has not let that happen here, and they know exactly what's going on. I think Optic Gaming, it's the same key to victory as we saw in the first series. Simply stay toe-to-toe throughout the entirety of the game and or come out with a huge lead. Just simply don't have to play catch-up. It's just too straining in terms of what you have to do in the game.
Is the blue glass bottle of water behind them anything to do with their success in this series?
Hey, I don't comment. I don't comment on memes. So that's all I'm going to say.
There's not a lot we can take away from them, let's be honest. Here we go then, Slayer. On streets, 50 kills to win. This is a chance for Shopify Rebellion to solidify themselves as not just the first seed going into the major, but the hard favorite going into the major as well by taking down Optic Gaming in this final. 4-1 would be a scoreline they would be very, very happy to walk away with.
We did get word that B-Man actually baptized each of them in that blue water before the series, and so far...
I'm not going to say what he was doing with the banana.
And so far, it has shown in the scoreboard. Shopify now up 3-1, 1 game away from closing out your grand final here. Can Optic Gaming do it again? It would need to be another unbelievable run from them to close out the grand final. Everything to play for here. We're underway.
First things first, I think, for the side of Optic Gaming is just control power-ups better. And off the break here, the opening strategy is superior for Shopify Rebellion. 4-1 up, Stalker Rifle in the hands of Frosty, and Cykul has a free run on that camo once again. So they get the camo again. They have all the power on the map.
Once again, patient play. Frosty knows he doesn't over... Oh, boy. Formal gets a backpack on camo. And that's going to slow down what looked like it was going to be a guaranteed runaway lead. Still Shopify up 7-2, though.
7-2, and Lqgend is about to fall as well, so it's going to be 8-3. Somehow, Renegade is in a position where he can exchange. Frosty
stays
has
alive.
Absolutely no right whatsoever to survive as long as he did. But by doing so, Cykul now has a flank, and he's able to pick that kill up, 10-5.
10-5, still Carnage at bottom mid. You see Lqgend and LastShot going to pass each other really quickly as Those benches kills not traded out. Somehow LastShot stays alive in the end, and it stays 11-6.
Formal does have that Stalker, but now it's going to be Cykul who picks it up. Still got that Repulse, does big damage as well. Renegade trying to stay alive around the pillars. There's going to be one hit from Will too. Frosty, with that Commando in his hands, manages to put another one on the board, 14-9. Lqgend going to be taken down again. I've seen Lqgend just caught out on his own a few times so far in this game. 1-4 to start with.
16-10 now. And Shopify continuing to maintain that lead that, they know they need that, for example, to hold on. At least stay one full Slay rotation over Optic Gaming. That will be continued. Oh my, take a look at that player cam. Frosty taking down the former teammate, now opponent in Renegade. That will also allow him to grab Camo.
Shroud goes down, Camo's picked up. Frosty can now have a little bit of fun. It's an 8-kill advantage. As Lqgend is going to be pinged and taken down smartly by Frosty. I love the way that he didn't shoot initially. He knew he was going to be able to play off of damage from the position of his teammates. And that means, again, he can re-engage. Full shield, full camo. And with all of Optic in front of him, he puts one in the kneecap of Bound as well.
I was going to say, if you were watching the bottom right, you saw him switch to spikes as well. And these guys are popping off and hyped. They're up 23-15. Let's get into another listening with Shopify Rebellion.
Nice. Two more. I'm jiggling. Yeah, I'm here.
Tires.
Two shot tires. Plants right now. One hit plants.
Two tires.
Two tires. Max. Nice. Dead end of PD. Dead end P. Could be A.
Put it back in.
Dead end PD.
Could be A, hiding.
No.
Wait, there he is.
Target right now. Oh my god.
Holy fuck.
PD, watch out. Nice, PD again. Have it jump.
On your mat. Trade. Nice. Fucking shit, bro.
I just want to see what your planners.
Yeah, you got nades?
Yo, I'm getting up E. Yo, check soccer, Preston. Give me back. Wait, I just want to see you. Yo. Brad, I'm here. We can walk. Come to me. I'm here. Two back. Yeah, we're coming back.
Agent.
2 weak. Yo, three on me. They're weak.
Back. Smoke. Dead scammer.
Other
scammer. Dead.
Heaven to Father.
Be
One and hide. Go to P1 and hide.
Beast dead.
Nice.
Okay, back on me.
Gonna be on your way. I think we're splitting up.
Dead. Drop it. I'm gonna
Three. Watch the split.
He's all good. I'll go team.
Came out 20, guys.
Maybe don't know.
They're
You can hear from the listening, you can hear the energy. They know how close they are to closing this out. Shopify Rebellion are fired up in this game.
Also, I love how you can just get you a team that can do both. They're all popping off, and you just hear B-Man quietly in the background. Camo in 20. Just absolutely beautiful. This team can pop off in comms and just be leading by 10, screaming at each other and hyped. More hype than you can imagine, and they're also just still in control of the game type fully. They still lead.
I love that run from LastShot, by the way. Like, the shots that he hit, not easy shots to hit. You know, when you're half shielded and you're fighting a player who's on those B stairs, not easy angles, but he's perfect with every bullet that he fires. Only Renegade on the side of Optic really with anything to smile about at the moment. 12-8 for him, but everybody else in the neg.
Camo gets away, though. Lqgend able to grab it, and this game is not over just yet. We'll start to see if that starts to become the case, but they could try to mount something. Let's see if they could do it and stay alive.
Lqgend got a lot of responsibility here, though. LastShot going to be challenging him. Stays alive, LastShot as well. And in the meantime, Cykul finds 2 kills of his own. Renegade will trade one out. Frosty gets shields taken down, but Lqgend just can't find weak targets to play off of damage at the moment. He's the damage dealer. Finally gets one. And it's a 7-kill game now. Shopify only need 10, but Optic have given themselves a lifeline.
Shopify does well to make sure that's essentially a 3-2 trade against the Camo, which they will take in this scenario, of course, with a 7-kill lead. Let's see if they can play the slow Halo they need to bring this game back, but so far, first kill once again goes to Shopify.
Just got a trade at this point, and you can call yourself champion spot, Shopify. Renegade and Lqgend will find some, though. That's going to be 4 dead, and a Stalker was down as well, and LastShot ain't moving.
Needed the trades, did not get him. And what did we say? Even though it was just a 7-kill game, just like that,
oh my goodness,
it is now a 4-kill game. It is not over just yet.
Oh my goodness, Optic are more than back into this. LastShot versus Formal. Renegade finds another one. It's a 2-kill game. This was a 10-kill game just a few moments ago. Optic have found something out of somewhere. And for Shopify Rebellion, the demons that they just had to encounter in that reverse sweep, maybe they ruined their head again. Formal gets another one. It's a 1-kill game.
What do we say? Don't let these games go the distance. Don't let them keep it close. Amazing discipline from Optic Gaming. They were trailing by 7. And now just like that. Oh, they do not get the kill on Cykul, though. That was a big moment. 45-42 as a result. However, Renegade stays alive with Camo. 45-43, game in his hands here. Tournament life on the line.
2 kills the difference. Frosty trying to survive. Frosty will be taken down by Bound, and again, Renegade plays his life so importantly. We're tied again at 45-45.
Absolutely unbelievable. Neck and neck here, and all it takes is one last Slayer rotation. 46-46, Renegade needs to stay alive and get an angle. Camo about to dissipate.
Yeah, this is the thing. He knows that the Camo's about to disappear. He's got to make a play quickly, and make a play he does. Optic are into the lead. They were down by 10.
Stays alive on the Commando as well. They still have numbers here in back trim. 48-46, 2 kills to go for Optic.
Formal finds another one that puts them within 2 of an amazing comeback here. Frosty finds one himself, though. Frosty goes down. It's Formal again. Last player's Legend. He's going to get the kill, and somehow, some way, Optic turned that game around, and we have more Halo in this series yet.
This game was 36-26. And I'm pretty sure we said almost the identically same thing in the first series. Look how fired up this Optic game. Look at the look on Formal's face. This dude is not messing around. What a comeback. Go all the way back to the Camo grab. By the way, Renegade goes 20-8. Positive 12 in a game they win by 3. Unbelievable numbers and unbelievable composure from Optic Gaming. They were trailing thereafter right around 38-30. And it had to be perfect Camo play from Lqgend. It had to be discipline. It had to be another Camo grab. It had to be the 4 dead. And they steal the game out from Shopify Rebellion in a game that we were sure was going to be the final game of the evening and the tournament.
And what's the turning point? Optic finally get a Camo. Finally get one of the power-ups on the map and put it to use. That gave them the chance. It gave them the first 3 or 4 dead. And then the way that they were able to just not trade.
This play from Renegade here.
This is a fascinating play, right? Because we're both thinking his Camo's going to go at some point. And Renegade's going, I know, my Camo is going to go at some point. I need to make a play now. Otherwise, we're not going to get the maximum effect out of this power-up. He makes the play.
Look
and
at the
off at the
pop-off
back
as well.
of it.
You can see what it means to them. You saw what it meant to Shopify as they pop off in game number 1 alone. But now it's Optic backs against the wall with an unbelievable comeback. And it is, we identified it early on. We've seen it online leading up till now. But it's never been truer. I'm telling you, Shopify is so badly wishing that Slayers ended at 40, right? Because they would have won that game 40-26 or so. In the end, it's Optic Gaming with unreal late game composure, Camo grabs, team shots, and keeping their shields for the perfect push and collapse. 50-47, your final score. We're not done yet.
The reaction from Royal 2, I think, said it all. I think he just kind of like gave a little kiss of the teeth after that one was done. He's like, well, that was bad. And I think there's not really anything else you can say. It's brilliance from Optic. But on the Shopify side, it's a collapse. Series goes on. Shopify still find themselves 1 game away from being champions, but Optic now have momentum. Optic now have something to fight for. And as we head to King of the Hill Solitude, that first hill could be massive.
Let us not forget the last time we saw these two play this map, right? It was Optic Gaming completing the reverse sweep in a dominant Game 5 Slayer. And now with all the momentum in the world, and as you saw, I would just call it straight up fierceness on the look of Formal. Not only did they pop off, but Formal looked like he was ready to keep playing Halo. I guess is the PG way that I could say it.
Ready to be violent in-game.
Yes.
Well, here is that man, the picture of violence. Let's see if he can bring that violence in this next game. And tie it up and send it to a final 7th game of the series. Camo burn. Lqgend with a double.
LastShot, last player alive. It's an early advantage here for Optic Gaming. Is there? Oh my! LastShot says, actually, let's make it a quick momentary 1v1 and shuts down the hill control immediately. That's a big play off the opening.
Every play is going to be under the magnifying glass now, right? Yep. Every single shot that's fired is going to mean so much in that butterfly effect of how this game goes.
I mean, when you have games ending the way they have been, you're saying you set it up perfectly. I couldn't say it any better. Every kill in the mid game of all of these games has been a huge deal about when you have a game like that where a team comes back from any kill deficit. It's unbelievable. Optic Gaming is 3 dead. They're going to look to continue this on the posters as well as Soda Trap. Everyone's trapped on this side of the map, and so far already 50% of the way done on your first hill.
Yeah, Optic controlling this hill, and everybody from Shopify trapped on the snipe side, and Formal is just dealing damage. So many shots being received by Shopify Rebellion members. They can't get near this hill at the moment. LastShot's going to be weak. LastShot doesn't matter that he's weak. He stays alive. Royal 2 is there. Cykul keeps him alive, and somehow Shopify Rebellion break.
You know, Formal thought he might be able to go bottom mid, and probably 9 times out of 10, Formal goes bottom mid, wins the U-turn kill, and finishes the truck kill, but that doesn't happen this time. So Shopify trying to stay alive on this first hill, but a lot of work to be done.
But now Optic find themselves trapped in and around Tram. Legend's going to have a little poke from driveway. Bound flies in. It's going to be trades across the board at the moment. They want to try and take down Legend here on the LR. Will be able to do so, but Legend does get a trade onto Frosty. Formal jumps in that hill. Wow. Great shots. Fantastic, almost perfect shots coming in from Royal 2, and he stays alive, most importantly.
So obnoxious from Royal 2. Great pre-nade off of the LR to make sure he gets the kill on the LR player while dodging glass the entire time.
Comes back to get another kill, all because he stays alive in that situation. Now he's dealing damage to Formal, and look at that bottom hill. Look at the progress on either side. We're essentially tied up now.
Look at this grab. Nice job, Royal 2. Doesn't even take any damage on the grab. So carefully grabs this. Now just going to try to grab a little bit more time. They've already got the man advantage in the Slay department.
And now you can see Optic are a little bit panicked because they know there's a camo player somewhere. He will be spotted out. Bound stays alive just long enough, but also Royal 2 stays alive long enough.
Look at the hill.
So that he can re-engage.
Look at the hill.
Everyone's flying in. Royal 2 needs to get back in this hill. The repulse isn't going to be used. It's a trade.
Look at bottom mid.
He gets the bottom middle double kill, and it will be Optic who strike first. Pixels is separating these teams.
I have never seen a hill that close on your opening King of the Hill. Unbelievable back and forth. It felt like they had it. They had camo control bottom mid. Shopify able to get the kills as well, but in the end, it's perfect timing. They got the trade they needed. Formal stays alive on the truck spawn. He gets the first hill, and my God, is that ever huge for Optic Gaming.
Well, it's 3 dead for Optic. But like you say, it's huge for Optic. They get that point on the board. Now they have time on their side. They have a lead on their side, and they have Formal taking down Frosty with that shock rifle as well. LastShot trying to double up here with Cykul, who has that thrust in and around the hill.
There's a number of reasons that that's such a big hill. One, it keeps the momentum going for Optic Gaming, and we just saw what they're bringing into this game. Formal picks up another one. That's what I mean. The triple kill killing spree comes in as well, and they've got 3 dead. They're going to go ahead and take out the last player in the hill as well, and they might just do it again to take this second hill. Huge momentum still in their favor.
Renegade already up the map as well. Just saw the bandit poking out from LastShot here, and in the words of Wes Price, you poke, I teach.
Might do it again. Oh.
He stuck him. He stuck him. Formal nonchalant on the way that he just picks up that stick. Shopify Rebellion cannot get out of blue at the moment. Optic are going to take this second hill. No one is close enough. It's going to be 2-0 to Optic.
We meant it when we said do not give Optic any opportunity, because not only will they take the last game, but they'll bring all that momentum into the next game as well. 2-0 in favor of Optic Gaming, looking to force a game number 7.
Well, finally, it feels like Shopify have got a few kills on their side. Legend, he gets perfected. 5 perfect shots from LastShot. And with the kills starting to go their way, they can get a little bit of time here. Frosty picks up another one. Renegade takes a bit more damage. Everybody spawning on the snipe side. Bound's trying to kind of work his way in and around that truck to be a nuisance, but Shopify know exactly where they are, and they're getting pounded at the moment. Optic on the spawn.
Let's see if they can collapse here. Bound is not able to stay alive, which would have been huge. Dodges from hotel to truck. They get another kill, and it's going to be a staggered set of kills. These are very important and very well-timed kills for Shopify. They'll continue scoring.
Yeah, this is looking like it could be a perfect hill here for Shopify if Optic aren't careful about it, and they could wrestle some momentum away. After a heartbreaking first hill, after a second hill they couldn't get near, they're showing they're still in this series themselves.
Here's the question. This hill is certainly going to go. It does to Shopify. Just like that, it's 2-1. How does Optic Gaming bounce back? Can they take a breath here and reset? Make sure they do not let this game slip away. However, Shopify is looking to continue applying the pressure.
Yeah, they've won the rotate as well. Here's Shopify Rebellion. And they're starting to win their individuals as well. Another one going to be one. Assist picked up as well. Legend last alive for Optic Gaming, and he is nowhere near that hill. It's a third of the time already eaten up here by Shopify Rebellion.
Really nice stuff from Shopify to make sure that this game not only stayed within reason, but also got wrestled right back into their control. This next camo is huge, coming up 10 seconds.
Camo and shot coming up at the same time here.
About to score.
But we might be heading towards both of those power weapons and power-ups being picked up as Shopify Rebellion tie this game up at 2-2. Formal taken down by LastShot. He's starting to flow a little bit here as well. Legend on the blue window trying to get an angle, but it is going to be 2-2. The camo is still up top middle.
Hits his head on the geometry accidentally, which might give a free camo to Optic. Does that change how this game goes? That's the question.
Optic do get the camo. They do get the camo, and it's Renegade who gets it. Shopify Rebellion, 3 dead. Royal 2, no shields. It's going to be 4 dead, surely, in a few moments, as Renegade finds the final member.
That was a guaranteed free camo for LastShot. Unfortunately, it hits his head and falls down bottom middle immediately. Is that something we're going to come back to watch here? They spot out Renegade immediately, though.
He gets a stick, though. He still takes one to the grave, even though there's 3 players surrounding him.
They were ready for that, man, the yard BR push. He thought he was going to get behind him. They have to go right now. Shopify, here's the push.
So much time left in this game, by the way. Formal inside with that shock rifle.
Imagine.
LastShot. Knows Legend's in front of him. No damage been done for him. Has to reload. Not going to be able to. Gets the beat down, but Legend is alive and Bound is inside of that hill as well. And Optic, they're going to go into a lead now. It's 3-2, and there's still over 3 minutes of game time left.
I was going to say the same thing. So much time on the game clock. Unbelievable there that the camo would fall the way that it did. It could be a very different game. However, now we got to focus up on the bottom middle hill here. Off the first rotation. Optic Gaming leading 3-2. Only one more hill before they close it out.
And think about how close this first hill was, right? If that happens again, it could be the difference between us going to a game 7 or Shopify being champions if it goes down to those pixels. Optic want to send this the distance. Formal's got himself a shot.
It's still 2 dead. If they get another opening damage here and another pick, this could actually be the hill. They already have 40% of the progress done.
Enemy team took the hill.
Bound and Frosty gonna trade out. Formal
2v2.
Who cleared out the final members on that bottom middle hill last time. Bit of a warning shot, has to repulse back up towards top middle just to stay alive long enough for the rest of his team to get involved. Oh, Formal! Nasty shot from him, but Optic are 2 dead and Cykul's inside that hill.
2 dead and a long way to go. Optic Gaming needs to realize they already have 50% progress. Take a second to reset, but right now Shopify knows they don't even want to give him the room, give him the opportunity.
You got split spawns as well here, Shopify. Optic spawning in and around that snipe tower. Camo is back up at the moment. Renegade's making a desperate play for it. Cykul doesn't want to give this kill away. Had to reload though. And now Renegade's still on the silo.
He's going to get camo
He's
as well.
He's going to get the camo. All of these little things not adding up for Shopify Rebellion. And with 3 dead, Renegade inside of that hill with the camo. Royal 2, no shields. Optic are getting closer and closer to sending us the distance.
Renegade is going to play his life here. He's going to get out. He's going to slay again as they lose the first player. But now, like you said, only 25% progress left before they close out the game.
2 dead on the side of Shopify Rebellion. But they are still in that hill. They are forcing Optic to come to them. Renegade finds another one. That's going to be his 13th kill of the game.
Beautifully done.
Bound there as well. 2 still in the death screen here for Shopify Rebellion, and Optic standing tall inside of this hill. Formal finds another one. Frosty desperately tries to get in there. They're not going to be able to, and we are going the distance here. Game 7.
Dude, unbelievable sequence of events. And I'm not kidding. I think after LastShot misses that free camo top mid when he had the angles, I think they got checked. You started to see a lot of kills coming in there for the side of Optic Gaming. And man, did we ever get what we came for. Shopify versus Optic. And Optic doing it again. It's not quite the same in terms of the ordering of their wins, but guess what? They force a game number 7. With a 4-2 win in the end. This has, and what did we say? Do not, this game went, you can't give them any room in these games. They will take a mile, and that's exactly what they did. Unbelievable series. We're going to a game 7.
And who is the man who is the catalyst for Optic when they need him most? Legend, again, leading the way for kills, leading the way for damage when Optic have their backs against the wall. It is the Frenchman who steps up and shows the most ice out of everyone.
This play, unbelievable. Look, they've got 2 dead. They've got camo and hill. Look at the hill progress. This is unbelievable from Legend and Bound. Bound stays alive to trade. Formal off the truck. Look at Frosty about to finish it. Unbelievable, man. Every single hill delivered in this game. This is already one of my favorite series. I've casted in Infinite, and we're only at a preview land event. this play from Formal to stay alive as well to get the triple.
It's so crazy. There's like a nasty play like that from Formal, and it's like, that's the standard.
Yeah.
That's the standard now. That's what we expect. And all that's going to do is give you like 25% on the hill. That's how good it is. Enjoy it if you're watching right now, wherever you're watching.
Here's the play.
Enjoy it.
Look, they have the slays. Last shot's forced to drop, and players start to fall. Free camo there for Optic Gaming. And they just start to run away with it. We were tied 2-2 at that point, but you cannot give a free one to Renegade. Formal just kept going.
Oh. We saw when this game type first came in, by the way, games finishing 1-0.
Yes. My, how things have changed.
Not anymore. There is still so much time on that game clock. But one thing that we can say is there is not much time left in this series. We have gone the distance for the second time with these two teams. But when this game is done and dusted, we will finally be able to announce who is our champion here at the Kaysan Showdown.
Look at the margins once again. Every game Shopify wins, they're blowout wins. Every game that we see Optic win, they are late game comebacks. The Slayers are identical, by the way, both 50-47 comebacks. As well as now that 4-2 King of the Hill Solitude win.
That's Slayer Streets.
Jeez, man. This series has delivered. This year has delivered, and these rosters have delivered.
It's only just begun. That's the wonderful thing, right?
It's a beautiful thing.
It really is a beautiful thing. And now, we still have another game in front of us as we are tied up at 3-3. I love the fact our final game is Origin.
Only fitting. Where we began this series is where we will end it. And the question is, Frosty, on our main stage here, undefeated today on this map.
Can you
do it again?
Let me try something for you here. The Oracle of Origin.
The Oracle of Origin.
Of Origin.
Yeah.
Thank God you're here.
Oh, no problem. There's that man on your screen there. Shopify with a lot to think about from these past two game types. The question is, how are they icing up? How are they maintaining their focus as they get ready for the 7th and guaranteed final game of the series? But I tell you what, one team is going to go home not only with a bunch of cash and huge amounts of momentum for these next 2 weeks, but the other team is going to go home with their heads held low and a lot to think about for 2 weeks. I'm going to shoot it to you straight.
That's fair. It's completely fair, especially if it happens in this way. If Optic pull this off, it will not be the first time that they would have sent a crushing blow to Shopify Rebellion before the season's even got underway. It will be the second time. And arguably, this one would be even more devastating, not just because it's a final, but the way that Optic came back in that Slayer.
Dude, I mean,
the series was done.
Down by 7.
The series was
late
done.
Game, down by 7.
They had no right to win that game. And Shopify are sitting there going, guys, we've won.
Yep.
With just a few more kills to go. And now they find themselves going, guys, how... A, why are we still here? B, how are we about to come in second?
Unreal, to be honest. When we were,
they've got to step up here. They got to find a way to win.
And not just, it does not need to be kind of keep it pace with Optic. It needs to be the best Halo they've played all day and so far, without a doubt. And you have to think, when we called it, when it was about a 7-kill lead for Shopify, we meant it when we said this is the last chance for Optic to stay alive in this tournament. And I think if anyone had to put money on that, they would have bet that this thing was over. Shopify players included, and that was not the case. Optic, we know we've been saying they're capable of it, but my God, are they ever proving to us that they can dig deeper than maybe any team we've seen so far in the league in Infinite? And just pulling wins out of areas where there really shouldn't be anything. We can't even talk about them.
Not on broadcast.
The nether regions.
Not on broadcast.
The depths.
One thing that's good, though, that I am enjoying about this little preview of Shopify Rebellion here, still some smiles. Someone's cracked wires here. Someone has lifted the spirits a little bit because
they need it.
It would be understandable if everybody had a face like Thunder at this point after what they've just experienced in those last 2 games.
Speaking of faces like Thunder, how about... the look on Formal's face was honestly terrifying.
Yes.
When they had made that Slayer Streets comeback, it was like, oh no. Look at him now still. They have unlocked a different tier of Formal. He's mad, and he's about to put some wins on the board.
If I was his teammates right now, I was like, we best win. I don't know what happens if we don't. Man, what a tournament. We knew this tournament was going to be incredible. We were so stoked to come out here to see these teams debut on LAN, but this is the best thing we could have asked for. Unbelievable storylines already. This is more than anyone could have asked for. No one saw this coming. Everyone knew it would be a great series. but no one knew it would go
exactly
the distance.
Like
50 kills to win. One of the newest maps in the Halo Championship Series, but one that is steeped with history in the Halo Championship Series. Shopify Rebellion, Optic Gaming, Game 7, Grand Finals. Who is taking home the Kaysan Showdown?
This is for everything. One game for a whole lot of money, as well as we said, pride, momentum, respect in the league going into your season opener in just 2 weeks' time. So much to play for here, and we are underway. Ladies and gents, at game number 7. It's been amazing to have you with us here. Tied up 3-3, one Slayer to settle the score.
And will the Oracle of Origin step up? Frosty once again to be the difference maker. 2 dead on the side of Optic to start this off. Formal and Legend will answer back though. 2-2 off the break.
A little bit of fighting grass here. Frosty knows he needs to stay alive. You hear rockets in the background. That's going to be a Cykul grab with a rocket launcher, 1 rocket to play with.
I think he actually used both of those, so no more to play with for Cykul. LastShot going to trade out. It's 5-4. Optic have a slender lead. Nobody able to get their hands on that sniper rifle as yet. Royal 2 with the thrust though. Turns it around on Renegade.
We talk about the jiggles. We talk about the wiggles. That one goes into both categories. Beautiful thrust there. And now maybe going to provide an opportunity for the first sniper grab of the game. Yes, indeed. Essentially tied up here at the 5 kill mark.
Royal 2 going to get away with it. That triple that he hit right at the start of the series, which feels like a lifetime ago. One of the highlight plays of this grand final, but this will be the one that he'll remember. If you can make big plays with this sniper rifle in a final game of the finals itself, that's the one that really matters.
I think it's the first time we've seen... no, I think Brain's a teammate there on the elbow, and now going to provide an opportunity for maybe a collapse to come in from Optic Gaming as they start to take just a lead for just a second, but tries to play the snipe and does get it off. Sniper rifle will go off the edge of the map. Legend, no power weapon to be found, but they will take a 10-kill lead with them.
10-8 then. Frosty, though, incredible shots from him. From the snipe side of the map over to that rocket street. Formal finds another one himself. 1 kill between the 2 teams. Frosty versus Renegade. Renegade wins his ones, but it's a 2v2 on the map at the moment. He's going to have to wait for his shields.
Momentary lead here for Optic, 13-11. This is exactly what you want to see if you're a green wall. Damage there from Renegade was absolutely beautiful. In the end, LastShot's going to try to come in and bottom mid. Legend with a very key thrust to win that one to make it 15-12.
Legend's still alive as well, finally taken down by Royal 2. He'll collect that thrust, still 2 thrusts to play with. Frosty will get the kill onto Bound. 16-15. There has not been more than a 2-kill lead so far in this game.
Things slow down now to a crawl. It's a good opportunity, I think, here at a standoff at the 16-kill mark. Let's go to a listening with Optic Gaming.
I got time. You look over me.
Red maze in. One
Red maze,
One grass. 2 shot red. Right Yo, blue BR, kill blue BR. Red BR, Frosty. One shot, nice. Red BR, Frosty. Top cat, Frosty, weak. Our side, cat, weak.
Red BR.
It's true. Have rockets.
Don't show face, just let them. It's a window, John. It's a window.
Blue flag.
Go back. That's one red, guys.
Nice. We can pitch.
Right here, blue flag, John. Watch out, he's rockets, one blue.
Nice.
Okay, rocket out.
It's three.
Guys,
Blue cake, the flag. Blue flag with us.
Blue came on me.
Get on the flag, John.
window. Watch out the window.
Two back. Nice.
Watch out, it's
I'm here.
Blue came. Wasting ammo.
Back up.
Yeah, blue side.
I can't.
Blue cave and blue side.
I can't.
Blue side. That's it.
Let me not.
Chill.
They have a snipe still.
Red window.
They don't have much.
I mean, that listening tells us everything we needed to know about how much this means and how exciting this season is going to be. Formal is growling every time he picks up a kill, but Shopify Rebellion have a lead, and now it's the biggest one of the game. It's 5 kills the advantage, and Frosty still has a snipe bullet.
Finally emptied, but the moment we've been waiting for, finally with the weapon in hand. And we saw it from Formal's POV there, but it was Frosty in the cave getting a beautiful no-scope to really break the game wide open, and now they lead by 4, just like that.
Legend trying to get up that rocket street again. It's a battle that we've not seen. One so far by Legend, and this time it's not going to be one again. The thrust is up. Renegade trying to contest bottom middle for it. Not going to be able to get close enough to do so, though. Frosty looking for this kill.
Boy.
Thrust past him, snaps back onto him. and most importantly here for Shopify, keeps himself alive and can re-engage here.
Wow, beautifully done. They're just going to look at this. They're about to get a staggered 3 dead as well as they get this kill on Bound. 3 dead indeed. Now, just like that, is 32-23. But as we know, far from over. They're going to need to keep up the aggression, keep up the pressure. Otherwise, Optic can bring this back, even down by 10.
And this man's been the difference maker again, right? He's double positive, more than double positive in this game. 9 and 4 for Frosty, make it 10 and 4 for him. And he's been doing it for the majority of the game without the power weapons this time.
The Oracle of Origin, this man knows something about this map that other players do not because he keeps performing on it game in and game out. Another set of kills here. 3 dead again for Optic Gaming. 38-27, an 11-kill lead here. Home stretch for Shopify.
And it's a killing spree for Frosty as well. He's taking on Bound. Still manages to trade in a disadvantageous situation. 29 kills for Optic, but it's 39 for Shopify Rebellion. Make it 40 as Lqgend will fall to the bandit of Cykul.
Formal does get the rockets bottom middle. Hasn't shot one just yet. Surely Shopify doesn't let this one happen. They're up by 11 here once again. These are your final 9 kills.
Bound will find one. Cykul trades it out immediately though. LastShot will be taken down. 3 dead for Shopify Rebellion. And normally we'd be talking about a road towards victory for Shopify, but having seen what we've seen Optic do already in this tournament, this isn't done yet.
Not over.
This is not done yet. Lqgend finds one onto Frosty.
They clear out the cave, they clear out the fountain as well, now 43-35. Starting to feel pretty familiar here.
Oh my Formal, a double kill for him is 3 dead again for Shopify. Surely this can't happen again.
As soon as Formal got those rockets and stayed alive bottom middle, you
Frosty
knew
goes
it
down as
was
well.
going to be trouble. 5-kill game now.
It's a killing spree for Formal. Like you say, a 5-kill game, and Lqgend has a sniper rifle, but Royal 2 might have just slowed things down enough for Shopify to get on the map. But Lqgend, when you need to hit shots, it's the biggest one. 3 dead again for Shopify.
No more room to trade.
There's no way this is happening.
No more room to trade here. 45-41, and it's been amazing from Optic. Once again, they were trailing by 11, and now it's a 4-kill game. Does not hit the shot.
Formal under pressure.
Lqgend
gets one onto Royal 2, but the trade from Cykul brings Shopify within 4.
LastShot with a very big push and a very big advantage. That's going to be huge here. Frosty cleans up. 47-43, 3 kills to go.
Optic just trying to survive.
5 minutes remaining.
Sniper rifle gets picked up though. LastShot though shuts it down. Renegade will fall. 2 kills to go for Shopify Rebellion to finally put Optic to bed.
And Shopify likely, unless they get the perfect advantage, they're not even going to try to push this. However, 2 players on the elbow. This is dangerous for Optic Gaming. 48-43, only 2 to go.
Bound is going to find one, but Frosty, he gets his 14th of the game, and Frosty will close it out with a double kill. It's 50-44. Mr. Collie, the Oracle of Origin, will close it out with another fantastic stat line as Shopify Rebellion will be your champions of the Kaysan Showdown.
And if you needed an indication of how hyped this year is going to be, how about at a 4-team LAN preview, a pop-off from Frosty and a headset slam? The bill is in the mail. To win the series and the tournament in game number 7, and this is just a LAN preview event here. Unbelievably hype. Whew. Optic Gaming down by 11. They bring the game back within 3, but in the end, it is 50-44, your final score. Shopify Rebellion, not... Look at the reaction of Formal. Look at the reaction there. You could just tell the frustration, but my God, does that ever set us up for an unbelievable year. If you needed... I'm not going to lie, we knew this year was hype, but from the player's perspective, this has set an all-new level of just what's on the line this season. An unbelievable grand final, an unbelievable entire day here. And you know what, Formal, hey, he was fired up going into these last games. Now he's pissed, and this is going to set us up for a great major.
There's a difference between being fired up and pissed.
Yeah.
And when Formal's pissed, usually good things happen for the team that he's on moving forward. I have to see if Optic can bounce back. I mean, I'll be honest, they had no right to even be sending it to that Game 7. With the comeback they made on Street Slayer, absolutely unbelievable, but they weren't able to summon that once more. Had to dig so deep